So, punta na tayo sa grammar usage English. So itong topic na 'to gagamitin niyo 'to sa, a lot of this in, read in sentence correction types of questions din, yung, grammar. But sentence correction is not just about grammar, but, a big chunk of it, uh, more on, grammar. Okay. So, punta tayo sa parts of speech. So meron tayong sa lesson sa app, makikita niyo naman dun na kumpleto yung discussions natin dito. So yung iba dito nagre-refer dun sa lessons din natin sa app. So, dito sinamarize ko ano yung mga most, yun yung style kasi namin sa Educato is, kasi sa mga grammar, sentence correction, palaging may mga most common error, like top 100 most common error, and if you practice those common errors, most likely yung exam ganun din yung tinatanong sa sentence correction or grammar. So yun yung style is for us to give you practice questions and lessons about the most common errors. Kasi ang nangyayari kasi sa grammar, alam niyo naman yung grammar rules kaso madalas nakakalimutan lang. So once you go through the common errors, naalala niyo, ay oo nga no, ganun nga pala yung grammar rule. Naalala ko na, oo nga pala. So yun yung style natin. So start lang tayo. Ito nandun din to sa app. So noun, basically person, place, thing, or idea. Pronoun, it replaces a noun para hindi pa ulit-ulit yung noun na binabanggit. Okay? So, verb is an action, so state of being. So hindi wala kang complete sentence or complete thought kung wala kang verb. So dapat merong noun and verb. So yung two uh, uh main parts of the sentence. Adjective modifies a noun. Ang kumbaga magpinsan 'tong adjective, adverb, eh. Adjective describes a noun, adverb describes a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. So kung nagmo-modify ng noun, adjective. Kung nagmo-modify ng verb, adjective, or other adverb, adverb 'yun. Kaya siya adverb. Okay? Preposition, relationship, ang preposition relationship ng between nouns. So for example, the cat is above the table. So between the table and the cat. So yung two nouns connected by shows the relationships the preposition. Conjunction naman, ibig sabihin ng conjunction, ito yung taga-connect ng mga sentences, phrases, words. So connector siya. Preposition is the relationship, usually spatial relationship. Conjunction is the connection of clauses, sentences, or words. For example, meron kang dalawang sentences, gusto mo sila i-connect by conjunction. Para maging isa lang, conjunction yung ginagamit. Interjection is exclamation. So yung tong pinaka-shortest point, like, oh, wow, hey. So that's what you call interjection. Okay? So punta tayo sa most common errors. Sa noun, yung mag-browse tayo ng mga most common errors and discuss natin. Pati yung mga verb tenses, i-discuss din natin yung verb tenses and yung mga conjunctions, yung mga paggamit ng comma, independent clauses, and so on. Start muna tayo sa noun. Yung most common error is usually yung plural form. Halimbawa, criterias. Ano ba dapat ang plural form nitong noun na to? The plural form is criteria itself is plural already. The singular form is criterion. Okay? So yung mga ganito, kailangan nyo lang i-familiarize yung mga nouns na mga common na may weird na form. So, sa pag-practice. So, more on practice talaga yung sa grammar usage. Then, halimbawa, ang paggamit ng common error din dito, paggamit ng uncountable, countable, ng maling modifier. So, halimbawa, too many rice. So, rice is uncountable. Rice is an uncountable noun. So, pag uncountable, hindi mo siya gagamitan ng many. Pag uncountable yung noun, gagamitin mo is much, right? So, too much rice. So, yun yung gagamitin nyo dito sa countable and countable. And then, for ano yung common error din na isa pa yung possessive. Halimbawa, hindi nalalagyan ng tamang apostrophe, the cat's tail. So, ibig sabihin, the cat's tail dapat may apostrophe S. So, yun yung mga common. And one last thing in the noun, usually, hindi nalalagay yung article. She has idea. Pag meron dyan, dapat meron siyang article na an. She has an idea. Okay? So, next tayo sa pronouns. Most common errors is yung number 1 is yung case ng pronoun. So pag sinabing halimbawa her and I went hiking, yung her nasa maling case. Ano dapat yung gamiting case dito? She and I went hiking. So yun yung pronoun case. So ang isa pang common error na-encounter sa pronoun is yung vague remember, pronoun is just referencing to a noun, right? So, kung yung nagre-reference siya sa noun, kailangan clear sino ba yung antecedent ng pronoun, right? Sino bang nire-replace nung pronoun na yan? So usually yung it madalas nadadama yan. Halimbawa, don't use if vague siya, use the noun. For example, the dog and the cat were panicking. So the dog and the cat are panicking that it suddenly jumped. So sino yung it? The dog or the cat, right? Vague, right? So kung does it refer to the dog or the cat? Kung vague siya, gawin mo na lang na yung noun itself. Say the dog and the cat are panicking that the cat suddenly jumped or something, right? Kung vague yung reference ng it, gawin nyo na lang na yung noun mismo yung gamitin. So, and yung agreement din ng pronoun and antecedent. Halimbawa, madalas ginagamit, each student in the school bring their own lunch. So, ano yung mali doon? Dapat each student in the school, each student is singular. There is for plural. Ibig sabihin ng each student, kada isang estudyante nagdadala ng baon. So, hindi dapat yung gagamitin natin instead of there, his, her, or its, yung kapartner ng each. So, in the case, each student in the school brings his or her own lunch. Yun yung example natin. So, marami example kayong pwedeng i-practice sa Educato app, and we will also be adding questions on top of what's already there in the app. Or not just Educato app, marami ring practice na sentence correction out there kung hindi kayo kung ubos na yung free access nyo sa app. So, next, yung paggamit ng reflexive pronoun. Usually dito, halimbawa, myself and Sarah will go grocery this afternoon. So, yung paggamit ng myself as a subject, madalas to error kasi yung myself is a reflexive pronoun. So, dapat ang gamitin dito, instead of myself and Sarah, I should use Sarah and I will go grocery shopping this afternoon. So, yun yung gagamitin, hindi myself. Kailan ginagamit yung I, myself? So, halimbawa, when you're trying to emphasize that you yourself are doing something, I myself will teach the review session, right? So I myself will teach the review session. I myself will I will wash the dishes myself. Ibig sabihin, I'm emphasizing that I will be doing it myself. So, okay. Then lastly, yung who and whom. Who did you pass the message? So, for example, instead of to whom did you pass the message? So, yung paggamit ng who and whom. Pag whom, meron kang receiver basically. Okay? Most common errors na adjectives. So medyo bilisan lang natin ng konti since ito namang mga to nasa app din naman sila and meron din kayong practice questions dito. So yung nagkakamali ng form na halimbawa ginagamit na more pretty, ano dapat instead of more pretty, ang gamitin prettier. So ito yung common error dito sa adjectives. Meron din na maling form, right? So halimbawa, ang ginagamit dito sa una, more pretty, or ginagamit most pretty instead of prettiest. So dapat pretty, prettier, prettiest. So yung incorrect form, halimbawa, ginagamit for bad. Bad, ginagamit, usually kasi lalagyan ng est, di ba? So kaso irregular siya. So that, instead of using worse. So, okay? So good, better, best, bad, worst, worst. So yun yung mga, itong mga to, kailangan nyo lang i-familiarize ano yung mga irregular forms, and again, practice lang kayo ng mga questions. Ito yung order ng adjective. Ang minsan, pero bihira naman lumabas, meron kasing correct order kung paano dapat yung adjective, yung order. So, meron akong acronym dito na medyo mahaba. Nasa app din to. So, yung una muna is yung quantity, opinion, size, age, shape, uh, color, origin, material, and the purpose. So, mahaba, nasa app itong mga to. Pero yung mga common lang naman dyan, yung size, shape, age. So, yun yung mga common. Dito, ano yung napagbaliktad dito sa example natin? Ano yung napagbaliktad? Nakita nyo ba? Sige. Sige, try natin. Nandyan pa kayo. So, dito sa adjective, quantity, opinion, size, age, shape, color, origin, material, purpose. Nice and small. Bakit? Kasi nice is an opinion, small is size. Dapat mauna yung opinion, OP, before yung size. So, right? So, opinion muna. So, dapat nice, small, wine, bottle. So, bottle yung noun na minamodify ng nice, small, wine. Wine is yung purpose. So, yung purpose mo is for the bottle to store wine. So, wine bottle. So, nice, small wine bottle dapat instead of small, nice wine bottle. So, opinion first. So, try nyo i-familiarize to lang yung, pwede nyo rin try itong acronym. So yun yung order. So, one more error is yung pag overly using yung intensifier. So, most happiest versus, you should just say happiest kasi happiest is already the superlative. So, no need to add the most. Redundant na siya. So, pag nakita nyo yun sa sentence correction, most happiest, redundant, yun na yung wrong. Then, common error din, ginagamit yung adjective as adverb. So, halimbawa, quick is an adjective. What's the adverb, equivalent adverb form is quickly. So, kung nagmo-modify ka ng verb, kasi ang minamodify mo dito is yung runs, right? Hindi naman pwede mo sabihin na he is quick. So adjective yon. Quick is modifying the he. But in this case, there's a verb that's being modified. So runs quick. So dapat runs quickly. Okay? So yun yung mga common errors sa adjectives. Sa adverbs naman, madalas incorrect form. Nakukulangan ng, usually yung adverb nag-end in a syllable, ly. So madalas na ita-drop yung syllable na yun na nagagamit lang yung adjective form. Halimbawa, she speaks Spanish fluent instead of she speaks Spanish fluently. So fluently yung kasi minomodify mo yung speak na verb. So dapat yung ginagamit mo is the adverb, which is fluently, not speak. Speak is the not fluent. Fluent is the adjective. So minomodify ng fluently yung speak. Misplacement. Ito, very very important to. It's Usually, this one usually appears in sentence correction. Isipin nyo, ano yung mali sa sentence na to? Misplacement ng adverb. Again, adverb describes the verb, right? The verb and other adverbs or adjective. Ano sa tingin niyo yung mali dito? Which part? Only? Well, yun lang yung adverb, di ba? So, tama. Only, tama. Very good. So, kasi yun yung adverb dito is only, minamodify niya yung sings. Ang ibig sabihin ng sentence na to, pag tinagalog siya, she only sings in the evening. Kumakanta lang siya kapag gabi, kumakanta lang siya. Ibig sabihin, yun lang yung ginagawa niya lagi pag gabi, kumakanta lang. Magkaiba yan, di ba? Isipin nyo, kada gabi kumakanta lang siya, wala siyang ibang ginagawa. Yun yung ibig sabihin ng sentence na to. She only sings in the evening. Kapag dyan yun nilagay only, ibig sabihin yan, wala siyang ibang ginagawa, kundi kumanta lang kada evening, kada gabi. She only sings in the evening. Versus, she sings only in the evening. Ang ibig sabihin nito, kung kumakanta man siya, kumakanta lang siya kapag gabi. Pero hindi ibig sabihin kumakanta siya kada gabi, right? Magkaiba ng meaning yan. May difference siya. So the way kung saan nyo siya pumunta, kung saan nyo nilagay yung only, yun yung imamodify niya. Right? Kung nilagay nyo sa only sings in the evening, ibig sabihin, sing lang yung ginagawa niya. Sing lang yung only. Pero kung nilagay nyo only before the evening, ibig sabihin, kumakanta siya only in the evening, ibig sabihin kapag gabi lang. Pero hindi ibig sabihin lagi siyang kumakanta lang kapag gabi. Yeah. It's late in the evening. Yeah. So, yan yung okay naman tayo dun sa placement ng only. This is very important. This one always appears in sentence correction. Yung only. Yung misplacement ng only. Dapat nandun lang siya right before the thing it modifies, which in this case, evening, not the sings. Overusing the adverb really totally understood it instead of simply saying totally understood. So you don't need the really part. And then she is too happy to see us. She is instead of using to, so happy. She's so happy to see us. So maling adverb yung ginagamit. Okay? So next tayo sa preposition. So preposition naman, sa preposition ang very important, ito talaga yung kailangan ng maraming practice kasi minsan nakakalito siya. Even ako minsan nagkaka-mix up ako ng prepositions ng day to day. Na-mix ko yung prepositions minsan. So yung, for example, he depends in. So pag depends, ang kapartner niya lagi is on. Depends on. Depend on. So omitting. So halimbawa, hindi naglalagay ng preposition. She is good playing the piano. She is good at playing the piano. So dapat may nagli-link ng dito between the good and playing. And then minsan naman hindi na kailangan ng preposition, naglalagay ng preposition. Where is she? Where is she at? Instead of where is she? Naglalagay pa ng at. So this one is a redundant preposition. So pag nakita niyo sa sentence correction, redundant, where is she already gives you the full thought of the complete sentence. So hindi na kailangan yung at. So ito naman minsan yung preposition meron siyang common na kapartner na verb yung preposition. So phrasal verb. Kumbaga ano na yan, pair Kumbaga standard na siya. Halimbawa, he filled up the form. Ano yung mali dito? Pag verb na fill, ang kapartner niya lagi is out. Filled out instead of filled up. So yun yung may mga normal na partner na halimbawa, backed out the decision instead of backed up the decision. So okay? So or backed out the decision and or backed up the decision if it's supported. So may mga standard na partners. Then and lastly yung time and place ng preposition sa paggamit. For example, I have been working in this company since 3 years. So versus I have been working here for 3 years. So instead na since, ang ginagamit is for. So yung mga ganitong bagay na kailangan ma-familiarize. Okay? Punta tayo ngayon sa conjunctions. So ito medyo marami kasing lumalabas na conjunction na sentence correction involving comma rin as well and yung conjunction itself. So ano ba ang conjunction? Conjunctions, naglilink siya ng mga clause, words, phrases, or clauses, right? So yun yung mga nililink niya, mga 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 pwedeng words lang or pwedeng buong clause or buong parang one sentence and another sentence or phrase and another phrase nililink niya. Okay? So merong three types ng conjunction. Una, coordinating conjunction, ang kailangan nyo lang tandaan dito is yung fan voice, yung and, and or, yet, so hanapin nyo na lang to. Nandun din naman to sa app or check nyo lang online. Coordinating conjunction, fan voice. So, 7 lang yung conjunction na yan. Yung naglilink ng phrase, word, sentences. So, ang ginagawa ng coordinating conjunction, kinoconnect niya yung equally important component. So, why do we say equal important? Ibig sabihin, for example, yung iba kasing conjunction, kinoconnect niya yung mga clauses na dependent. Kumbaga, meron kang main clause, nagko-connect siya ng less important na dependent clause. So, yun yung mga other type ng conjunction subordinating. Discuss natin yun after. Pero sa coordinating, it's equally important components. So, again, pwede nyo i-connect word, phrases, or clauses, independent clauses. So, word phrases, for example, kung nagko-connect ka ng two words or phrases. Halimbawa, pag ganitong words or phrases lang, hindi mo na kailangan ng comma. Anong halimbawa nito? He ran to the store and bought some soap. Itong bought some soap, paano mo manalaman na phrase lang siya kasi hindi siya clause. Hindi siya clause kasi wala siyang subject. So ang nakalagay lang dito, bought some soap. Who bought the soap? Who is this? Ano yung subject dito? Like, right? Yung he pa rin. So ibig sabihin itong bought some soap is just a phrase kasi wala siyang own subject. So it's just bought some soap. Okay? So pag nagko-connect ka ng two words or phrases, walang comma. Pero kapag three or more words or phrases, merong optional na comma, yung tinatawag na Oxford comma. So halimbawa, I packed clothes, shoes, and snacks. Pero acceptable din na walang comma before end. Pwede rin yun. So either way, pareho silang tama. Pero to remove the ambiguity, it's better to put a comma. So I always put a comma para hindi confusing kasi minsan pag walang comma, nag-iiba yung meaning ng sentence. So Oxford comma, but in the exam, sa sentence correction, it's not necessarily wrong kung walang comma yan. Okay? So, ngayon, so pinagkaiba natin sa independent clauses. Pag sinabing independent clauses, ibig sabihin may complete thought yung buong clause na yon. Ibig sabihin meron siyang own subject and meron siyang own verb. Unlike this one is a phrase, right? Bought some soap. Bought some, kaya walang comma kasi phrase lang siya. Bought some soap, walang subject, right? Stand alone yung independent clause. So independent clause, kapag ginamit niyo yung coordinating conjunction with independent clause, dun laging may comma. Ito yung one of the common errors is not using a comma when using coordinating conjunction connecting independent clauses. So, ano yung mga independent clauses dito? Tingnan natin. Yung nandito, but it started to rain. It started to rain is an independent clause kasi it could stand on its own. Kung siya lang yung sentence, it started to rain, it's a sentence. It has its own subject and the verb. Then, yung I wanted to go for a walk, it's also a standalone. Meron kang subject, I wanted to go for a, wanted as a verb. So, buo rin siya. So, meron kang dalawang independent clauses. Pag ganyan, kailangan mo gumamit ng comma. Kapag ganito, na phrase lang and bought some soap, hindi phrase lang siya, hindi mo na kailangan gumamit ng comma. Okay? It's very common itong lumalabas. Alright. Punta tayo sa subordinating conjunction. Subordinating conjunction, instead of independent clause, ang kinoconnect niya is a dependent clause with an independent clause. So, lagi ka may dependent clause sa subordinating conjunction. So, anong example nito? Pag dependent clause, ibig sabihin hindi siya stand-alone. Meron kang subordinating conjunction, subject saka verb. Halimbawa, yung clause na because it was raining. Bakit siya naging dependent clause? Isipin nyo lang, dependent clause, bitin. Pag sinabi mong because it was raining, bitin siya, di ba? Cannot stand alone on its own. Dapat nakadikit yung because it was raining to something else. Kumbaga, hindi siya nagme-make sense na on its own because it was raining because of the subordinating conjunction. So, independent clause halimbawa, we did not go out. So, this is independent kasi it's a full sentence on its own with subject and verb. So, ang isang sentence na may subordinating conjunction, lagi siyang merong ang lahat ng sentence merong independent clause. And sometimes kung maglalagay ka ng dependent clause, doon mo kailangan ng subordinating conjunction. Pero hindi mawawalan ng independent clause dapat yung sentence kasi kung puro dependent, wala kang whole idea, di ba? So, kailan ka gagamit ng comma? Kapag dependent clause yung nauna, doon ka gagamit ng comma kapag halimbawa, because it was raining, we did not go out. So, ginamitan mo ng comma kasi nauna yung, at again, ito yung dependent clause mo, yung because it was raining, yung bitin na clause. So, nauna siya, kumbaga dapat may pause ka bago ka mag-independent clause. We did not go out. Because it was raining, we did not go out. Kapag naman nauna yung independent clause, hindi mo kailangan ng comma. We did not go out because it was raining. So kapag naglagay ka ng comma dito, we did not go out, comma, because it was raining, mali yun. So pag nakita nyo yun sa sentence correction, no, na may comma kahit nauna yung independent clause, mali yun automatically. Kasi dapat walang comma kung mauna yung independent clause, mahuli yung dependent clause. Nagko-comma ka lang kapag sinabi first yung dependent clause. Alright? Yeah, this is very important yung comma dito. Then finally, the correlative conjunctions. So these pairs always come together. Yung mga pair conjunctions na tinatawag, both, and, either or, neither nor. So dapat hindi ang most common error dito na pagpapalit ng partner nagiging neither or, mali yun. Dapat neither kapartner niya lagi is nor. Hindi magkakaroon ng ibang kapartner si neither other than nor. So not only but also. So pag may nakita kayo not only, also, mali na agad yun. Kailangan merong but. Not only, also, not only the dog, also the cat, so on, mali na agad yun. Kasi dapat not only ka-partner niya, but also. So nag-emphasize siya ng two ideas. Whether or, yan, magka-partner yan lagi. And so on. Okay? Question. So far? So punta na tayo sa very last part, sa verb. Ito yung pinaka, well, it's kind of confusing yung mga verb tenses, pero i-explain natin siya ng paano siyang ano nga ba tong verb tenses. So, punta muna tayo, isipin nyo lang, actually ang kailangan nyo mainly dalawang tense lang. Present tense and past tense. Pero, ang present tense and past tense, meron siyang mga subtype. Okay? So, yung dalawang most important na for the exam, yung dalawang type, present and past tense. Kasi yung future tense, madali lang usually. Will plus yung verb. Madali yung future tense. Usually. Pero nagkakaproblema madalas sa present and past tense. Now, sa present, meron siyang 4 subtypes. Present has 4 subtypes, past has 4 subtypes, and then future has also 4 subtypes but not as important as the present and past subtypes kasi mas common yun. So, ano yung mga subtypes? So, again, 3 types, present, past, future, and each of the 3 types, meron kang 4 subtypes. So, dadaanan natin yung 8 most important subtypes. So, una muna sa present. So, yung present, meron kang 4 subtypes. Simple, continuous, perfect, and perfect continuous. Sa ibang text or sa ibang terms, ang ginagamit dito, progressive instead of continuous. Simple, progressive, perfect, perfect, progressive. So, pareho lang yun. Continuous, progressive. Okay. Unahin muna natin yung simple. So, yung simple, so sa simple, sa simple, saan ginagamit yung simple? Ang simple form, for example, meron tayong reference verb na write. So the simple form niya is writes. So for example, she writes for a living. Ito yung example natin. She writes for a living. Ang present simple, ang ibig sabihin ng present simple, madalas to tinutukoy mo yung mga recurring things, mga habits, routines, or facts. So she writes for a living. She does that, but she does that all the time. It's her habit, it's her work, routine niya na yan. So yan, and facts as well. So kasama rin yun sa mga simple, simple present. Okay? So yun yung first subtype ng present. She writes for a living. Now, merong isa pang, yung next subtype ng present is yung continuous or yung progressive. Present, progressive. Kailan ginagamit tong present progressive? Ba't kailangan pa siya? Kasi pwede namang simple, di ba? Ba't kailangan pa yung progressive? Ngayon, ginagamit yung continuous or yung progressive, present progressive, kapag in-emphasize mo na nangyayari to ngayon, right now, and ngayon lang, hindi to nangyayari araw-araw. Kasi kung nangyayari siya araw-araw, halimbawa, she writes for a living. Ang ibig sabihin nun, yan, she does that all the time. She writes for a living. Pero kapag sinabi mo, she is writing in her room, yung kailangan mo dito, ibig sabihin nito, she is writing in her room. Dalawang way to put it, right? Kung sinulat mo siya na she writes in her room, sabihin natin na sinulat mo lang siya ng simple. She writes in her room. Ibig sabihin nun, lagi siyang dun sa room niya nagsusulat. Right? Yun ang ibig sabihin nun. Pag sinabi mo, she writes in her room, habit niya yun. Lagi siya, routine niya yun. Lagi siya sa room niya nagsusulat. Pero pag sinabi mong she is writing in her room, ang emphasis mo doon is yung happening now or emphasis on temporary activities. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Ibig sabihin, she's writing in her room. Ang gusto mo i-point out, nagsusulat siya ngayon sa kwarto niya and ngayon lang yan. Hindi yan araw-araw, hindi yan weekly. Ngayon lang yan, nagsusulat siya ngayon sa kwarto niya. That's when you use the progressive form, continuous progressive. So present, continuous or present progressive is plus the verb na may ing na dulo. So yun yung gusto mo i-emphasize. Happening now, temporary, it's not a recurring thing. Okay? Next, punta naman tayo sa present perfect. Ano naman itong present perfect? So sa present perfect, instead na dito naglalagay ka ng is or are kapag plural, sa present perfect, ang nilalagay mo has or have. And then yung past participle na written. Ngayon, kailan mo kinagamit tong bakit kailangan pa ng present perfect? Bakit nga ba? So kasi may point yung mga tense, eh. Kumbaga ang kailangan niyo maintindihan sa tenses, ano yung logic, ano yung gustong sabihin. Kasi may mga gusto kang i-emphasize na logic, na meaning ng sentence na maka-capture lang siya kapag ginamit yung tamang tense. Halimbawa, sa present perfect, has written, ginagamit yan kapag yung mga past experiences relevant pa rin sa present moment. So, ibig sabihin, ongoing experience, ongoing period na relevant pa rin today. So, halimbawa, she has written for decades now. Kumbaga, nagsusulat siya ever since at nagsusulat pa rin siya today. So, relevant siya sa present moment. Kaya ginamit na, she has written for decades now. So, bakit hindi na lang gamitin na, bakit hindi na lang simple past? Halimbawa, why not use she wrote for decades now? Bakit hindi ganon, di ba? Kasi mag-iiba yung meaning nun eh. Ibig sabihin nun, pag sinabi mo she wrote for decades now, weird siya kasi ang ibig sabihin nun, she wrote, tapos na, hindi na siya nagsusulat ngayon. Pero kung gusto mong sabihin na nagsusulat siya dati at nagsusulat pa rin siya ngayon, ang kailangan mo din dun gamitin is yung present perfect, which is the has or have plus yung past participle na written. So, she has written for decades na, nagsusulat siya dati, hanggang ngayon nagsusulat pa rin siya at this moment, relevant at this moment. Okay? So, so ang last natin dito sa present is yung perfect continuous or perfect progressive. Present, parang combination siya nitong dalawa na perfect continuous. So ano yung in-emphasize dito? Parang ito yung pinakamahabang form, has been writing. Has been writing. So ang in-emphasize dito is yung usually one-off event. One time event siya usually. Yung perfect continuous. Kasi ang pinagkaiba, isipin nyo dito, ito simple, para siyang analogy, di ba? Para siyang parang word analogy in a way. Simple, routine. And then kapag temporary, continuous. Itong perfect naman, pero ito parehong nasa present lang. Walang past involved. Ito yung simple, routine, recurring, continuous, ngayon lang, temporary. Pero wala silang past involved. Ngayon, pag may na-involve na past, kaya siya tinawag na perfect. It's perfected already. It's in the past. May past involved. Kaya itong recurring perfect, present perfect, para siyang katumbas ng simple. Ongoing siya, parang routine. Recurring, relevant to present moment. Ngayon, kapag naging sort of temporary siya na present, doon na ginagamit yung perfect continuous or perfect progressive. Halimbawa, she has been writing for 8 hours now. So, in-emphasize mo dito usually is yung duration. So, she has been writing for 8 hours now. Kumbaga, pinagkaiba niya sa kanina, ito, kumbaga relevant ang emphasis nito is that relevant siya sa present moment. Dito naman, ang emphasis mo is on duration. So, alalahanin nyo lang, perfect continuous is on duration. Okay? Punta tayo ngayon sa past. So, sa past, so, pinaka-basic is sa simple past. So, na-complete ka lang ng past action. So, again, parang present tense, meron ka ring 4 na subtypes. Past na simple, past na continuous or past progressive, past perfect, and past perfect continuous. Combination na ng perfect and ng continuous. So, simple past is just stating a completed action in the past. So, she wrote a poem yesterday. So, that's it. It's simple. May isang one-time, one-off activity na ginawa. That's it. Then, kapag nandito naman sa continuous, ang ina-emphasize mo dito, so, meron kang was or were, then yung ing form ng verb. So, was writing. Usually dito, meron kang ongoing action, kaya siya continuous, right? Progressive or continuous. Meron kang action na ongoing, pero nasa past yun. Kumbaga, nangyayari siya sa past, ongoing siya sa past. Not at the present, on the past. Tapos meron kang interruption. Ano ibig sabihin nun? So, halimbawa, she was writing a letter when he arrived. So, ibig sabihin yan, yung ina-emphasize mo is yung interruption. She was writing a letter, nagsusulat, ongoing. Then, dumating siya. So, yun yung gusto mo i-emphasize. Isipin nyo, kapag sinulat natin dito, she wrote a letter when he arrived. Iba yung meaning nun, di ba? Kaya kailangan mo ng continuous. Kasi isipin mo, kung ang sinulat natin, she wrote a letter when he arrived. Ang ibig sabihin nun, nung dumating si he, saka lang nagsulat ng letter. Right? Tama? Ibang, totally different meaning. Totally different meaning kapag ginamit nyo dito sa pangalawang sentence natin is wrote. She wrote a letter when he arrived. Ibig sabihin, nagsulat lang siya nung dumating si he. Pero since in-emphasize nyo na was writing, ibig sabihin, nagsusulat siya ng letter, tapos biglang dumating si he, na interrupt. So yun yung use ng past continuous. So na-interrupt siya sa past habang may ginagawa. Next, perfect. Ngayon, may involve na itong perfect kapag meron kang isa pang verb. Okay? Yung past perfect and past perfect continuous, meron ka ng two verbs na involved. Pwede rin ma-involve na dalawang verbs sa continuous but not necessary. But here, meron ka laging pangalawang verb sa perfect and perfect continuous. Ano example nito? Yung form nito is yung had plus yung past participle. So, in this case written, she had written the letter before he arrived. Ang emphasis naman, ang emphasis ng continuous is on the interruption. Ang emphasis naman ng perfect is on the, past perfect is on the completion before the next action. So, halimbawa, she had written the letter before he arrived. So, natapos na niya yung letter bago pa siya dumating. Unlike in the second example, nagsusulat siya ng letter, ongoing, then he arrived, na-interrupt. So, in the that's the continuous version. The past perfect, nakapagsulat na siya ng letter bago siya dumating. So, she had written the letter before he arrived. So, meron kang first action na na-complete, the past perfect action. Before he arrived is the next past action na nangyari. Okay? Then lastly, perfect continuous, past perfect continuous. So, had, nagdagdag ka lang ng been, then yung form na ing. Ibig sabihin nito, ang in-emphasize mo dito is yung duration usually. Kung itong continuous dito is nagpo-focus on interruption, so ang past perfect continuous nagpo-focus on, nag-emphasis ng duration. So meron kang ongoing, continuous pa rin. She had been writing for 8 hours before he arrived. So, continuous past action before someone arrived. So, yung emphasis mo nito usually is on the duration. Alalahanin nyo lang, usually, perfect continuous is about emphasizing duration most of the time. Even dun sa present natin, perfect continuous is for emphasizing duration. Okay? That's all. Thank you.